The idea is to consolidate the 46 city, village, and towns in Oneida County. It's right here at the site of the Erie Canal, where Rome Mayor Jack Giazzo says thousands of people will be decked out in their red, white, and blue, watching fireworks and hoping that the weather is just as nice as it is today. A complaint filed with the Utica Police Department left officers on the hunt, following concerns of an unidentified man allegedly stalking women around the downtown area.
Statistically speaking, downtown is probably the safest neighborhood in the city. But obviously, as always, everyone needs to be aware of their surroundings.
After further investigation, officers made an arrest in the case. The victim identifying 36-year-old Dwayne Dennis, a level 3 sex offender, as the man who followed her. Dennis is currently behind bars at the Oneida County Jail, but officers believe this situation is a reminder to stay alert.
When somebody is alone, to travel in a lighted area, make sure your phone is on you, stay in a populated area, things like that. If you see anything that seems out of the ordinary or you're feeling unsafe, that, we're a phone call away.
Officials say that public input like this is a key factor in keeping the city streets safe.
First and foremost, I would make sure that a police report is filed. There are certain parameters that have to be met for a stalking charge, and it has to be repeated activity. Filing a report with us when it occurs may not necessarily suffice to a criminal charge at that time, but definitely makes us aware of the individual, and if we don't know who the individual is, gives us some time to learn about who they are and try to nip it in the bud.
Adam?
Yes.
Did you kill your mother?
No.
Adam Yoder back on the stand today, telling the court how his romantic relationship with his mother's receptionist began and later fell apart.
Would you describe yourself as jealous and or controlling?
I don't feel like that's a yes or no question. That's two different things.
Okay. Would you describe yourself as jealous?
If someone cheats on me, yes.
How about controlling?
Possibly.
Okay. Fair enough. Did you scream and swear a lot at Katie?
A lot? No. Have I? Yes.
While their time shared came to an end, their phones continued to link interests. Conley and Yoder sharing an app that allows users to upload photos and turn the images into PDF files, later coming into play in the purchase of the fatal drug colchicine. On top of that, Yoder admitted to stealing information out of Conley's personal cell phone.
You took information off of her iPhone, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And how long did you hold that information for?
1 year.
You just held on to it for a year?
Correct.
Why was that?
Because I didn't want to invade her privacy. I did not think that was the right thing to do.
Okay. But at some time you found that it was the right time.
When I purchased a new iPhone, I connected it to my computer, and that backup showed up to restore it.
The pressure is on for small governments in New York State after Governor Andrew Cuomo announced a new requirement in the state budget. Oneida County taking the first leap today. The idea is to consolidate the 46 city, village, and towns in Oneida County. The property tax saving plan would eliminate duplicate services and improve the coordination. County Executive Anthony Pacenti says it's an opportunity for everyone to come together and do what the people want: lower their taxes.
They save money, and nobody sees any difference other than either the roads get plowed, their streets get paved, their garbage gets picked up, their codes gets enforced, their services remain the same and get enhanced. And really, it's up to us, and really, it's in our favor to do this, and it's really something I've been pushing for the 10 years plus that I've been county executive. So.
For the village of Whitesboro, Mayor Patrick O'Connor says it's encouraging creating cost-saving partnerships without sacrificing services to the residents.
Any type of step forward for a plan that's going to be mutually beneficial to all municipalities involved, not just villages, not just the county, or not just the towns. For anything to be successful, it's got to be beneficial to everybody.
The question that lingers for the smaller parties: what are the services that will continue to be provided?
The goal for the town of Deerfield would be to deliver equal to or better services, and if we can join in with another municipality for a lesser amount of money, that would be the ultimate goal.
Caitlin Conley's trip to Oneida County Court was cut short and rescheduled for next week. Why? With a new trial date in her future, she has the option to find a new attorney to defend her from the murder charge and others she faces in the death of Whitesboro chiropractor Dr. Mary Yoder. Chris Pelly, who was her defense attorney for the first trial that lasted 3 weeks and left jurors up in the air with a result that was ruled a hung jury. Pelly says he's ready to go with the next trial date and has confidence in the Conley family to find someone or keep him to, quote, protect their precious daughter. Adding, if he remains, he won't change the direction, but he'll bring more pieces of evidence to the table, just like the opposition. On the prosecution side, moving forward, Oneida County District Attorney Scott McNamara says a new set of eyes will be added to the case. He says gathering a new jury is always a concern, but they've done it before in high-profile cases. McNamara adds they're looking for jurors who can start clean and agree to a verdict. As for the first trial, he says the DA's office got anonymous calls leading to an investigation. Not releasing what it was about, McNamara says what they know now will heavily impact the next set of jurors. Conley is back in court a week from today, and we're expecting to get that trial date then. Reporting in the newsroom, Nicole, Todd, Eyewitness News. Elizabeth Linscott says she thought her son was having growing pains. It started with the knee ache, then came the night sweats. After a doctor's visit, that's when she and her husband began to worry.
I wasn't exactly sure what he was going to be going through, and I didn't want to scare him. I told him that, well, you might be hearing, scary words like biopsies and cancer, but nobody knows exactly what this is yet.
On June 29th, a parent's worst nightmare became the Linscott's reality. Will was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, a form of blood cancer.
My heart broke. I was like, this can't be happening. This is not I couldn't believe it at all. And it was sad, and I was thinking, what he's going to have to go through.
While his classmates were preparing for high school in the fall, he and his family were preparing for chemo and hospital visits.
I think, a couple times he broke down, and that was in the beginning of the treatment. And after that, he has just been on the road to just fight this and keep fighting.
Benefits, raffles, a gold ribbon hockey game, and Frankfurt Schuyler Athletics. The community took Will's fight on as their own, decking themselves out in his favorite colors, red and black. The family has raised thousands of dollars towards medical expenses. The Linscotts had a plan to find a bone marrow donor in July, and on August 1st, they had a perfect match.
And then I realized I have to step up to do this, and no, I have to do this for my brother. It was no question based on my mom, I have to do this.
Their oldest daughter Hannah would head to a Philadelphia hospital to be his bone marrow donor. She says she was okay dealing with temporary pain to make sure her brother could be healthy again.
I felt good, and I felt good because I wanted to get this over with. I wanted my family to be home so we can all be home and do everything, eat breakfast, eat dinner together.
Reporting, Nicole, Todd, Eyewitness News.
It was put together like a patchwork quilt.
It was a dream that's now a reality for the small group of dedicated and hungry cooks from Saints Peter and Paul Orthodox Church in Herkimer. After years of planning and taste testing, the 2,000 recipe cookbook is now in the homes of over 15,000 foodies.
Knowing that the culminating activity of almost every social activity is the meal, we just wanted to share our wonderful recipes.
Whether a beginner or a master chef, the goal was to make this the only book you would need in your kitchen. With 25 sections of options to cook or bake, all you have to do is get the ingredients and get hungry.
If you had apples, you would look in the fruit section and there would be a whole section of apple recipes. So this was true with the fruits, from apples to strawberries, from asparagus to zucchini.
While the book was created by a few members of the Russian heritage, there's many diverse foods that can be found between the pages. But to get a better understanding of the traditions of the church, those are sprinkled throughout.
And at Easter time, we bless baskets of food, and those are the foods that are served at our Easter dinner, and again, the meaning and symbolism of those foods. But even throughout the whole cookbook, There's scriptural messages, there's quotes, there's cooking hints, and all of that was done by our artist, Ann Anthony, a lifetime member of our church who has since passed on.
On the lighter side of the menu options, you'll find some humor engraved forever for future generations.
And we would cut and paste and put pages together, and all of us that were working on this cookbook never noticed that there was a 5-legged cow in one section. And also there is a wonderful recipe for preserving your husband. So everyone should read that one too.